The Economic Community of West African States commemorated its 50th anniversary just a month ago. Founded on the pillars of economic integration, free trade, and collective self-sufficiency, the regional bloc half a century later is still chasing a dream that remains just out of reach. ECOWAS regional leaders gathered here in Abuja for the West Africa Economic Summit, a platform for tough conversations on the very challenges they share.
Unfortunately, we are not yet integrated. Our economies are still, operating in silos. A lot of things are happening at borders that are not encouraging our citizens to enjoy the freedom of movement, the freedom of movement, at the same time, the freedom of movement of their goods and services.
Recently, the bloc witnessed the dramatic exit of Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger. Regional trade and integration in West Africa continue to face bottlenecks, including weak enforcement of protocols of free movement of goods and services, with many states prioritizing sovereignty over collective decisions at the economic bloc.
The past 50 years have not actually been open enough to allow our countries to be part of the whole. We continue to see our countries as number one and prioritize our countries on top of the community, the economic community of West African states. We must continue, we must work to believe and trust our neighbors, trust that the community holds more prospects for development.
Total trade among West African states is below 15% compared to 60% in the EU. This trade imbalance is largely due to the region's reliance on raw material exports, importation of finished products, and limited value addition.
One area that requires reflection is the low level of intra-community trade. Despite being a customs union, intra-community trade within ECOWAS stands at 12%. This is considerably low compared to the European Union and ASEAN countries.
Those of us that are coming from the small countries, the small populations, sometimes we overemphasize this because we know we need the market. If you're producing anything in the Gambia, you need a population to consume it. Now, ECOWAS gives us 500 million people. That is the largest market you can have as a bloc within the AFCFTA. And just like you were talking about AFCFTA, it is an opportunity for us to go out there. But all the protocols, all the policies, all the frameworks, what we have at border restrictions, customs, non-tariff barriers, all these things make trading difficult for our private sector, for our consumers, for our citizens. And that is why we have been very slow in improving our intra-West Africa trade, just like we have been slow with intra-Africa trade, which is also below 17%.
In a bid to promote regional trade, reduce currency exchange costs, and foster economic integration, ECOWAS had planned a single currency, originally targeting to roll it out in 2003 among 6 non-CFA franc countries, namely the Gambia, Ghana, Sierra Leone, Liberia, and Guinea. However, that failed to materialize, leading to at least 5 planned deadlines subsequently that were never met. Now, 2027 is the latest target.
Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, to deepen and boost intra-regional competitiveness, we must accelerate progress towards monetary union. A single regional currency would reduce exchange rate costs, support price stability in our region, and improve the business environment.
Regional integration among West African states holds significant economic promise for the population. Yet, persistent hurdles continue to stall its full potential.
The global economy will not wait for West Africa to get its act together, nor should we. Rather than competing in isolation or rely on external partners, we must together strengthen our our regional value chains, invest in infrastructure, and coordinate our policies.
In response, regional leaders are pushing for a more united and result-driven ECOWAS, which advances integration and trade harmonization to boost the region's competitiveness on the global market. Mahmoud Lamin Choi, dearth News.